Hi friends, welcome to Creating with Jovi. Today I'm going to create 3 masterboards. One is going to lean into the blues, one is going to lean into the pinks, and one I'm going to have more neutrals on it. Masterboards are a great way to use up scraps or use up lots of your stash. To create masterboards, you can use mixed media paper, or you can use cardstock, or you can use a heavy-duty cardboard. Mixed media paper can handle the glue and it won't buckle or wrinkle. On the other hand, cardstock and cardboard will buckle, but once it's dry, you can put it under a book and it'll straighten it right out. As far as adhesives go, you can use Mod Podge or decoupage. You can use like an Aleene's tacky glue. You can also use glue stick. When I use glue stick, I only use it on really thin paper such as tissue paper or napkin, or even pattern paper like that you get inside of a sewing pattern. That's very similar to tissue paper. To create masterboards, you can use large pieces of paper or small pieces of paper or any combination in between. You can also add fabrics to your masterboard if you want to. I want you to know though that if you do use fabrics, you will need to cut your masterboard with scissors because you won't be able to use a paper cutter unless you have one of those guillotines. I think that's what they're called. I don't happen to have one of those. I just have a simple paper cutter. So I will have to use scissors if I'm going to add trims or fabric. Now, you just saw me create the pink one, and I used MAP on that one, some beautiful wax paper, and also some vintage wrapping paper. And on this one, I'm using a vintage bank statement and some scrapbook paper that has been in my stash for a while, and then also some origami paper. The origami paper is the paper that I am using right now and inking the edges of. And since I'm inking the edges of some of these, I wanted to let you know that you can go ahead and do that. It makes it easier to ink them up now rather than having to use a brush and sort of brush the ink in later. Although it's not necessary to ink any of your edges, but it can add a nice detail. Now here I am using, what do I want to call this? It's embossed paper, but it's embossed because it's modeling paste, and the modeling paste was done using a stencil over top of not parchment paper, but like a deli paper, so it's a super light paper. In the upper right hand corner, I just used some beautiful tissue paper, and now I'm going to add more of this. What do I want to call this? This embossed paper. The paper is really thin, the deli paper is, so I noticed that with the glue it would tear easily, so I am trying to be careful. I want to spread that glue out, but I'm trying to do it carefully. And grabbing this piece of fabric really helped actually to push it down so that it will adhere into place. So feel free to use things with texture in your masterboards. Once I'm done creating these masterboards, I'm going to let them dry, and then I'm going to cut them into the size that I want in order to use them as tags. I will share with you those pieces at the end of this video, but I wanted to let you know that they won't be finished yet. I will do embellishing on these tags in the next video. So you know to look for it, I will name it something like embellishing tags made from masterboards or something like that, because I would really love for you to see the finished product. Now I'm working on the masterboard that has more neutral tones in it, and a lot of this is scrapbook paper that I had. They're just scrap pieces, and I wanted to go ahead and use them up instead of putting them away. And then you can see that there's also a magazine advertisement. I received some really nice tissue paper in Happy Mail recently, and I'm going to use some of that on this masterboard as well. The pink piece that I just put on actually isn't tissue paper. That was actually a dyed coffee filter, and that's really fun to work with. But you can see this piece here with the burgundy and the stars. This is tissue paper, and so I'm using my glue stick to adhere that down to onto the page. At the time that I am editing this video, I'm actually editing this video on a Friday, and I just did a Friday Live, and actually on the Friday Live, I created masterboards. So if you would like to see me do this in real time as opposed to this, which is sped up, obviously, and you wanted to come along and create some as well, I will try to remember to attach my live video in the description box of this video so you could check that out. We created the masterboards, and then I created like probably 5, and then when I was done with the 5th one, I went ahead and checked the first one to see if it was dry because I wanted to embellish it, and it was dry enough for me to go ahead and cut it and embellish it. So you can see the whole process in that particular video. This little piece here that I'm putting some ink around the edges, this is actually white scrapbook paper, as you can tell, and it's got blue polka dots. And I know that that doesn't go so much with the neutral theme, but I still think it looks good on this page. It somehow works with the tissue paper that has the stars on it. And my final piece for this particular masterboard is a beautiful piece of tissue paper. Now I set these aside so that they can dry, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut them into tag shapes. I personally like my tags to be anywhere from 4 inches tall to 6 inches tall, and then I like them to be about 3.5 inches wide. Remember the pieces that were embossed with the modeling paste? Well, I've grabbed this beautiful ink that I have. It's a teal color, and I thought I'd go ahead and use it on the white paper, the paper part, just to fill that in so it looked more purposeful, I guess. And as you can see, I simply grabbed a paintbrush and putting it on there. It goes on quite easily, and I do think it adds a little intensity, and I do like that. Coming up in just a second here, I am going to show you each one of the cards. Again, they are not complete. They need embellishing, and I really want you to see them complete. So be on the lookout for that video because they turned out great. As the time that I'm editing this, I've already finished them, and they are beautiful. All right, my friends, I want to share with you the bases that we made from our masterboards. The corners can be rounded. Obviously, we can add a ton of embellishments on them. I used a variety of papers: scrapbook paper, book pages, wax paper, old vintage bank statements, origami paper, tissue paper, parchment paper that I had done a modeling paste on, which are these. They're drying. I added that ink to them. They're still drying, but they're looking really good. I have to point something out over here on this paper. So I have these really old vintage statements from like a credit card company, or actually it was a department store, and it's called Hex. I don't even know if it's still in business. These are from the 80s. When you look at it here, because I had done a little bit of gel print on it, and then I obviously added the stuff that I added onto the masterboard, but when you look at it here, it looks like the paper that's like wood, and it looks like a shabby chic white wood with a green overlay, doesn't it? And I just think that's so cool. You would never guess that that was a department store receipt, or statement, I should say. So I love that. That's pretty cool. Well, this is what we did, my friends. I love them. I think they're great. So in the next video, I'll go ahead and embellish them. I appreciate you spending some time here. Thanks for watching. See you soon.